because they saw the agenda, they're like, oh, this will be quick. Hey, can I have a special call? Can I make announcements though still? Or no? I was just going to say yeah, okay, gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah. All right, just making sure. Okay. Okay, we're going to call this meeting to order. Barren County Fiscal Court, special call meeting, October 20th, 2023, 9 a.m. Please call roll.
Jeff Potts. Derek Pettigo.
Here.
Tim Durham.
Here.
Tim Coomer.
Here.
Marty Kinslow.
Here.
Ronnie Stinson.
Here.
Brad Gross.
Here.
Judge Byrd.
Here. Okay, for today, we have a few things we need to go over. It's not much. Before I start, I was going to say the announcements to make tonight is I think they're recognizing the first football team and first cheerleading team at Barren County High School at their football game. Brad, is that correct?
Yes.
Is it before the game or the?
It's going to be in between the first and second quarter, and all the players, cheerleaders, managers are all invited to come up to the alumni room that we have up there before the game. Everybody's invited.
I got you. Teresa Bewley was on the first cheer team, so I'm going to make sure she wears her cheer uniform tonight to the game. So, but anyway, just make sure everybody goes to that event if you can to support that. Barren County's in 50 years this year as a school, so that's a big event for them. Coming up now, here we go. Got the next part. We need to approve the monthly financial report for September 2023, subject to audit.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Coomer.
Second.
Second by, was that by Pettigo? Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Need to approve the quarterly report for second quarter fiscal year 23-24, subject to audit. Need a motion and a second.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Durham, second by, was that Gross? Second by Gross. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Business. We need to approve the second reading and approval of ordinance number 686, amending the ordinance number 385. I need a motion and a second before I can explain. Motion by Coomer. Second by Kinslow. This is just making sure we understand what we're voting on. This is the second reading about the fee. I explained this the other day on the radio too. The property tax bill, the department fee will still remain $50 on the property tax bill. The 2.7% is what this is a reference to that will come off that 50 that will be given to the sheriff's department based upon the auditor's request. And the state law, correct. Okay?
So it's not, nothing we can do, I mean, it's there no matter, I mean, I don't understand really why we're voting on it if it's a state law and it's got to be.
Well, we just have to make an amendment to the ordinance because the ordinance didn't have it requested.
What takes place then?
Hey, Tim, so the state law requires that the fiscal court and has to get with the sheriff to discuss what the fee, would be. And that was added after our original ordinance was made, years later. There's no set number. It just has to be, that's what really, so yeah, you have to have an ordinance, and there have been other counties where they've gone ahead and done this, but then it was told to them in my research that they needed to go ahead and add clarification. And I think it's a good idea to have this in the ordinance as clarification of what the sheriff can collect. The only question is what amount you want to do. The fiscal court, now that we've had our first reading, you can make amendments to the ordinance, but you have to vote on the amendment first. If the amendment fails, then we go right back to what the ordinance is, and the next vote would be whether or not it passes the second reading or not. So that's where we're at with it. I don't know if that explains everything.
And Tim, just to explain too, there is a fee collected on the other taxes on there, for their collection parts of it, not for just the fire department. That's what I'm trying to get at. For the ambulance taxing district, for the conservation district, or not the extension district, this rate it varies between 2.7 to 4%. Correct? 4.25.
2.7 is the minimum.
Correct.
But this is going somewhere besides just the fire departments?
Well, no, this is, okay, so this, okay, it's on the $50 that's collected. 2.7% of that $50 will go to the collections part of, does it make sense to help with the payment of the postage and stuff like
But you
that?
said something about conservation and stuff.
Well, no, each extension district, there's a percent that's taken off of their fee that goes for the collection also. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'd like to see sometime a list of that with collections, like, alcoholic drug, the whole, the whole scenario of everybody.
Yeah.
That's what it is, okay.
Yeah, and we can get that. This is just basically, we're following the auditors and state requests, basically, to get this part done.
Ms. Marbury, if I could kind of give you the news on that. We were contacted by our auditors. Obviously, they were going through our paperwork, as they always do. And they said, hey, you're not collecting your commission for taking up this tax. Well, honestly, we didn't know. They said, hey, KRS says you're out of compliance. Correct me if I'm wrong, attorney. You shall, meaning in order to do so. And that's where we got my research on research that, so that's why we're having to speak up before now, because the auditors said we were out of compliance with state law, and obviously we want to be in compliance. So that's how it's come up for discussion before this.
I just hate it for the fire departments, man. That's the only thing. I've not been satisfied the way I've, from the last meeting, so, that's the only thing I wanted to make sure.
Going back to the fire departments, we did go meet with the fire departments. We went to the chief of the chiefs meeting. Was that in September? Is that when we went? Yeah, September, August, around that time.
Late August or
Yeah.
first week September.
So we all went, Kent Keene, or Sheriff Keene, myself, Mike was there, Ronnie was there. I was trying to think, was there another magistrate there? I can't remember, sorry. But we talked to them about what the auditor had requested, and then we reiterated after I discussed with each of you all about how the fiscal court will continue, though, to make sure that they got the difference that they would have usually gotten. Does that make sense? So like, I think it's like a difference of like, percent, it was $16,000 based upon the 2.7%. Is that about right? Yeah, and that's split amongst not just 8 fire departments. It's also, some of that money goes to Summer Shade, and then some of it's Fountain Run. So, but we as a fiscal court, we give a contribution as well to the fire departments. And we, after I reached out to you all, would be able to get them to the amount that they would have usually gotten. Yeah.
How many residents has to pay this? I mean, how many about?
It's on every tax bill.
I know it, but,
I mean, how many tax bills?
Resident in Barren County,
yeah,
fire, in the volunteer office.
30,000, 40,000.
We send out 25,000 bills, and if you have an address on the bill, you're gonna charge it. If you have multiple buildings on your plastic, you get multiple charges.
It's about $1.35 per fire due is about what it comes out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
As to what that they would be getting. But, and I will say, Mr. Bragg, he's been a long time fire chief, and he's mine. He did say they're very thankful, though, for the collection being done through the property tax bill. You know what I'm saying? Because I think, they used to actually send out requests, just by email, so.
I missed that because they give free pancake breakfast when you went and paid
Well,
your
that's
dues.
something to talk about. Hey, while we're talking about fire departments, pancakes.
We don't get pancake breakfast no more free.
Well, now pancakes, if you want to get some good pancakes, Haywood Fire Department's having a pancake breakfast
Tomorrow.
on Saturday morning. So everybody make sure you're there, especially we're going to continue to support the fire department. So,
Yes, and I do, and, we had that discussion with volunteers going out, not being paid for going out. I have so much respect for the volunteer fire departments, and I don't want them to feel like I'm trying to gouge them in any way.
and that's the reason why we went to meet with them, so that they knew that you all as a fiscal court supported them, and that we would make sure that it's made correct.
And then I'd like to make 2 points. One, this state law came out in 2003, I believe it was. Now, I don't know why or how it took 20 years that we realized that we're not collecting this, but we are required to do it. So that's why we're doing it. And then the other point I want to make is the Sheriff's Department collects all of this property tax money. Sherry, and I don't know how many other people are involved with that. They have to collect the money. They have to account for the money they've collected. They have to give they have to send it to each department that it goes to. So they've got a lot of work and time involved, and that's why this law, in other words, they're being paid for their effort in doing all this bookkeeping. It's what it is. They have expenses because of all that work, and that's why there is a fee.
Any other questions or any other comments?
There's just, we just gotta remember too, there's a lot of things that comes out of Frankfurt that's dictated to us, so we don't have a lot of choice but to pass it on and do. It's not that we want to, but it's, we're kind of hands are tied to do it.
All right, my turn. I don't like this in any way, shape, or form. I know it's a state mandate, and I know it's the state that created this problem, not you, Sheriff. I appreciate that. But this is wrong, and part of what the state does is wrong, and I know it's something we've got to do, but I still don't like it. It's wrong in everything that we do to support volunteer organizations. It just goes against everything I believe. I'm sorry. But I know we got to do it. I do. But it's just wrong.
Well, and after I spoke with all of the magistrates in regards when this all came up, everyone agreed we have a line item in our budget to give to the volunteer fire departments, and it's at 70 or 75,000, 75, and we've approved. Well, we've talked amongst everyone, the magistrates. We're going to increase that amount to around the 88, 90,000 to make sure that every fire department gets the same amount of money they would have gotten. Yes. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So we'll level it up. We're complying to the request.
To it, and I want him
Yeah.
to donate the money back to them and say, I'm gonna have y'all a big celebration.
Free pancakes.
I think just,
Yeah.
just sitting here, and I'm probably out of order, I don't know, but I think that you're losing sight of this. Like,
Yeah.
you're complying with the state requirements.
But they're still going to get the same amount. Yeah.
The fee.
Yeah.
But the court is gonna still give them the same amount of money they would have gotten, it's just gonna come from a different point.
Yeah.
I understand.
So you all are setting it up, we're sorry that it has to happen, but it has to happen to be in compliance, but you're making up for it, so we're still gonna be supporting the fire departments, and everybody's grateful for the work they do.
Yeah.
They're not grateful, it's just, they gotta be compliant.
Going back to, yes, I mean, and I think they were very appreciative of that
Yeah.
from
Well,
you
I was
all as a
questioned.
fiscal
I've been
court. Yeah.
questioned since then, and I know, might have talked to the chiefs, but it didn't go to all the fire department itself. So that's,
Well, just make sure that anyone that has questions, to reiterate to them that as a fiscal court, we will make sure they get the money that they are deserved. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Okay, we'll do roll call vote.
Derek Pettigo,
Nope.
Tim Durham.
no.
Tim Coomer.
Yes.
Marty Kinslow,
Yes.
Ronnie Stinson.
No.
Brad Gross,
Yes.
Judge Byrd.
Yes. Okay, motion passes. Next thing we need to approve the second reading and approval of ordinance number 687 related to Kentucky Building Code and Kentucky Residential Code. Okay, I need a motion and a second before we can discuss. Motion by Stinson, second by Coomer. This is in regards to the Kentucky Building Code that we are currently already following. This is just basically bringing it up to today. There's no new policies in here, that we're not trying to throw anything in. It's not creating anything new. It is basically everything we're currently doing, just doing a new ordinance for it. That's what I've been reiterated is from the housing inspector as to, this is the exact same thing. It's just basically updating it in regards to today. Any more discussion? Okay, roll call vote.
Derek Pettigo,
No.
excuse me,
Sorry, it needs to start with, yeah, because you didn't have bots. Yeah,
don't cancel that vote.
well, he'll come back to you, yeah,
Say this again,
yeah.
say this again what you just said.
So basically, this is, so example, when he was here the other day, he explained, I think when Mr. Stinson had brought up a question in regards to a home that was, or not a home, a building that was 400 square feet would have to be, they do that now. They already do that. Like, yeah, 200, it was 200, yes, sorry, thank you for that question. So they're already doing those things now. It's not like it's a new, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of your farms, I think, based upon the size, don't qualify.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Anything less than 10 acres.
correct. Yep. That is correct. Okay?
Tim Durham,
Yes.
Tim Coomer,
Yes.
Marty Kinslow,
Yes.
Ronnie Stinson,
No.
Brad Gross,
Yes.
Derek Pettigo,
No.
Okay. Motion carries. Okay, I need to approve the second reading and approval of ordinance number 688, approving a lease agreement for the financing of a project, providing the payment and security of the lease, creating a sinking fund and authorization, the execution of various documents related to such a lease. Motion and a second before I can discuss. Motion by Coomer. Second by Gross. This is the, we have the approval for the bonding for the Jackie Browning Park renovations. And we had our hearing, it was supposed to have been, was that yesterday? So many of my days, no, it was 2 days ago. It was on Wednesday, and the DLG had a problem logging into their meeting that they set up. So the meeting actually didn't happen. We just still have to pass this ordinance. We'll have the meeting a little bit later. I'm just telling as a public, because that was advertised, that meeting was with DLG. And that's why it didn't happen. If anybody was trying to log in, I was trying to log in, and DLG was trying to log into their own meeting, and they couldn't get logged in. So that meeting didn't happen, but it will happen. They're going to reschedule it, and we'll have to advertise it again. So, but this is just the second reading of that. And again, no amount is even set as to what this project will cost, because we have now just put it to bid in the paper, to go in the paper next Wednesday, Thursday, and it'll advertise for 7 to 10 days, and we'll get some costs back then and be able to understand what, what we're looking at in regards to cost, if that makes sense. So, and I've actually already submitted some stuff to Representative Riley to see if he can figure out ways through the state to help us out with some of the extra expenses, like the shade structures, the playground, stuff like that, so. Okay.
But right now, all we're doing is
Yes.
just, moving forward with the project. We're not committing, any, specific dollar amount this time to any project.
Nope.
This is just, to do the preliminary planning.
Yep, that's what it is. It's kind of like when you're buying a house, you go meet with the bank and kind of figure out a limit, and they set it at 2. That doesn't mean we're going to even get to that. They just did it because you can never change it. Well, not never change it, but you can't go up. To go up is hard if you had to, and but that doesn't mean you even get anywhere near it. So,
And I do like the, when you make the comment that, we're gonna look at, we can get grant money. I also believe that we should, if we do go ahead with the project, we, try to get, as much, donated money, private donations, whatever. We need to work that angle also. But this is a rather large project, and we're gonna, really have to look at it, I believe.
yeah, and I agree with that, and I am good about that stuff, but on projects like this, and we can look at sponsorships, and we do have increased sponsorship amounts right now to be a sponsor at Jackie Browning Park, and we'll use those monies to put back into the park as much as we can. But a project like this is a definite need for Jackie Browning Park. Even after a meeting I had this last week, we need more fields, we need more opportunities for the kids, and this will be able to do that. But we'll definitely look into that. But yeah, Riley's looking into, actually, I just talked to him this morning. He's looking at ways to see how much extra he can get us for Jackie Browning Park as well as the soccer complex. So, okay, roll call vote.
Tim Coomer,
Yes.
Marty Kinslow,
Yes.
Ronnie Stinson,
Yes.
Brad Gross,
Yes.
Derek Pettigo,
Yes.
Tim Durham.
Yes.
Sorry.
Is that it? Okay, motion carries. Last one, we need to approve the payment to Barren Metcalf Emergency 911 for $7,278.26. I need a motion and a second before we can do, answer, motion. Who motioned it? Oh, gotcha, sorry. Motion by Coomer,
Second.
second by Pettigo. In discussion on this is the payment for, it's just the monthly payment that we receive that we pass to them, correct? Okay. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Okay, lastly, announcements. We talked about just then, Barren County's 50-year celebration tonight is at their football game, starts at 7 o'clock. And I hope to see every person tomorrow morning at Haywood Fire Department pancakes. And they have excellent biscuit and gravy. It's at 6, I think, to 10 typically. Yeah, 6 to 10. I'll be there about 7 a.m., people, if you want to meet me there. Save me a seat. Okay? Anything else? Okay, I need a motion to adjourn. Motion by Gross. Second by Durham. All in favor say aye. All opposed? Meeting adjourned. Thank you all.
Last night, the regional trap shoot was at Cave City. Damien?
Yeah,
Last night, the regional trap shoot, FFA trap shoot at Cave City.
I saw some people.
Our middle school boys and girls